Hi, you're about to watch a Deck the Hallmark episode.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for doing that. We want to let you know that today's episode is sponsored by Philo. You can get 25% off your Philo membership and watch all of the movies we're talking about by going to philo.tv/DTH.
Unlimited DVR, all your favorite channels in one place. Go to philo.tv/DTH. Philo is for everyone.
Enjoy the episode. This is a Bramble Jam podcast. Oh, hi.
Oh, my God.
It's Bran, and I love Lifetime Christmas movies.
I'm Dan. I despise Lifetime Christmas movies.
I'm Alonzo, and I am so taking Lifetime Christmas movies on a case-by-case basis. And this
Is the Deck the Hallmark podcast. Oh, boy.
Hello,
Hey.
everybody. Another Monday.
Monday.
Amazing. Very excited.
This Monday's hitting a little different, though.
What do you mean?
Because it's the last Monday in June, and 3 days ago, Hallmark kicked off the old Christmas in July 5 days early.
Woo.
So we're in
Yeah,
for
boy.
it. You don't
Yeah,
feel
that's
it
right.
in the air, Brand?
No, of course I feel it in the air. I'm listening to Christmas music. I'm drinking out of my Christmas mugs. I'm in, baby.
You're in.
I'm in.
You excited about the new boy coming out?
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding me?
excited about all the Christmas movies?
clashing in the snow. What is it? A
Crashing through the
Crashing
snow.
through the snow?
What did
Crashing
you
through
think
the
it
snow.
was? A
Christmas clashing in the snow?
You're saying, what are you saying? Crashing?
Crashing.
Crashing.
Lightning crashes. Bobby Campo, who dies?
Bobby Campo dies?
What?
He's
Not
even
if
in the
I have
movie.
anything. No, not if I have
Spoiler.
anything. I love Bobby Campo.
You know what's crazy? Nobody clamors for Bobby Campo until he makes a movie.
Yeah.
And then people are like, he should make more movies. And you're like, you're not talking about him when he's gone.
Yeah.
It's like if Tyler Hines didn't make any movies, people would go nuts. They'd be just storming the Hallmark castle. But Bobby Campo no one says his name. And then he makes one movie and everybody's like, why doesn't he do more stuff? I mean, I'm just here trying to fight for Bobby Campo, doing it the right way. Even though I've just...
he's peekaboo. You don't see him, and he goes.
That's right.
Starting like a new nonprofit that fights for Bobby Campo rights.
And
Like, what are you doing?
I've never liked one of his movies, ever.
But you just want him to have equal opportunity.
That's right. Crashing through the snow,
That's
man.
exactly
and that
right.
Bobby Campo,
He's not in it.
Not in that movie.
And
I
that's a
want to be
crime.
very clear.
That's a crime.
And we're here to get out
What's
in
the
front of
point?
it. That's
What's
right.
the point
That's
of
right.
having a throwaway Christmas in July if it's not including
Bobby
Bobby
Campo? That's right.
That's a very fair question.
That's, I think, what we're trying to get to.
We're going to have a lot of fun over Christmas in July.
Oh my gosh, so much fun.
On Monday, we're covering the Lifetimes. We got like 5 or 6 Lifetimes
Yes.
we're doing on Mondays.
Yes.
Find them on Philo.
Yep.
The rest of the week, we're doing other things. It's going to be awesome.
Christmas and stuff.
Christmassy.
Some fan favorites that are
favorites.
airing
Yeah.
over the next month. So very excited.
I always feel
Hey,
like we're going to run out of those, but we don't.
Speaking of fan favorites, if you didn't already make it a point to do so on Leon Day, it's a great time to pre-order I'll Be Home for Christmas movies.
I mean, come on.
The Deck the Hallmark book
On
coming out in September.
On September 28th, when that opening day arrives, you're going to want to have that book already shipped to you. You're not going
Clutched
to want
in your hands.
You're not going to want to be like, oh, now I need to go and buy this. You're going to want it. You're going to want it right there because they're going to run out of paper.
You're gonna, that's
It's
that's
true.
what I've heard.
You're going to run out of paper.
There is a paper
gonna-
shortage.
they're
There is a
gonna-
paper shortage.
They're going to run out of Kindles too. They're
And
going to
if-
run out of them. You want to get on that right now.
Well, I heard they're sending them all to space or
That's right,
something.
that's
I don't
right.
know.
Yeah.
But if you, I heard that if you don't pre-order by the 4th of July, you lose your opportunity.
To pre-order.
Yes.
That's a really dumb thing to say out loud.
That is so not true.
At all.
You lose your opportunity to pre-order before July 4th. After that, you still can. It will just be after July 4th. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing special.
You will never again have the opportunity to have pre-ordered before July 4th.
The guy who sacrificed 3 months of pre-order sales for 1 week is the same guy that told you to invest in Dogecoin. And I want to be very clear about that.
To the moon. To the moon. Did you see the video of the guy? There was a Bitcoin convention in Miami.
Oh, no. I bet that's fun.
just a bunch of, hey, what's going on? And some guy ran on stage and pulled off his clothes, and he had a Dogecoin like suit on it.
Yeah, he did.
And he yelled to the moon, and they tackled him.
That's who we invested with.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
We
right.
did it.
It's the dogs and whatnot. Speaking of dogs, very merry toy store. Very merry toy store.
Bang, bang, bong.
No, I'm not giving anything away yet, boys. Don't worry. A very merry toy store, which we can all agree that's not a good name, right?
Bad name.
Like,
It's a
a bad name. Like there had to be
Also,
other.
there are two very merry toy stores.
Yeah.
Come on. Well,
Well,
no, wait a
And
minute.
one not merry one.
but also at the end,
Sure. Okay. But then the title is a spoiler.
That's true. To be fair, last week we covered A Very Country Christmas.
Yes.
When we decided the schedule, I was out of town, and so I was looking up the movie, and I thought it was just because later in the text message we had shortened it to Country Christmas. There's a 2013 movie called A Country Christmas, and it stars Kix Brooks, I believe, as Santa Claus.
Oh,
and
my.
it's free on Prime, so that could be in our future. But also,
giving it away.
I've had nightmares about it.
And if you guys don't watch that before July 4th, you lose your opportunity to watch it before July 4th. So don't let
You're
that.
There's
basically-
not a movie called A Merry Toy Store, though.
No,
That's the
but
important
you're
thing.
basically saying seize the day is all you're saying.
That's all I'm trying to
That's
say.
all you're saying is seize the
That's
day.
all I'm trying to say. Make today the best day that it can be by pre-ordering I'll Be Home for Christmas movies. That's all I'm trying to say. Are we ready to dive into this movie?
And don't accidentally order like a DVD
bunch.
of I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh,
like
no.
don't do that.
Like do it
keep
on
all the way-
purpose. You're welcome. We
I'll
made
Be
it
Home
easy
for
for
Christmas
you.
movies, and then go ahead and get the book. That's a book. Do
That's
that.
Jessica Biel's best work.
Yeah, is it? It's bold.
That or skincare.
All right. A Very Merry Toy Store. I want to tell you guys that at one point, when early on in this venture, we were brainstorming podcast ideas, and Dan and I had this idea for a daily show that we would act as if it took place
in
1996, and we would respond to the news of the day.
And we acted like we were there, and it was a time capsule. So we didn't have, but we did have the foreknowledge.
We did yes.
We did a full week, and
did
it
a
was
full
the
week.
most we've ever worked and planned anything ever.
We do a full Seventh Heaven episode, and you'll never hear it unless you join Brindle Jam Plus, and you can
right.
find it there.
That's right. Yeah. And some people loved it, and some people hated it.
Alonzo.
Alonzo,
Look, maybe because I was in 1996, and so
Alonzo, I believe
Guys,
his response was,
I just want, in case you don't know, the dad in Seventh Heaven who pays a pastor is an awful person.
Awful.
Yes.
We know that
Don't Google
knowledge
that.
now. We're not supposed to in 96. It makes for a lot of good jokes.
there were some people that were like, you have to go forward with this. And other people like Alonzo, that I believe his comment was, when is the punchline?
that is the punchline.
I want to say I was one of your earliest and most fervent supporters.
No.
Just because I don't love everything y'all do.
No, what I appreciate about my friendship with Alonzo is that he's just honest all the time. So when you do something well and he says it's good, you know it's true. Like we're
There
not,
you
you
go.
know.
There
So,
you go.
He
but
just
Alonzo
seems-
was in the camp of why are we doing this? And he was not alone. He was not alone in that camp. There were plenty of people in that
The
camp.
guy who plays Reverend Camden just seems like he's going to have such a good career.
Good career.
He's a
Seems like
good guy,
wholesome
like
guy.
a really good dude.
That's a fun
It
bit.
didn't seem like he was acting at all.
No.
It seemed like he was just
Straight up. Yeah. This Bill Clinton, it was an inauguration. This Bill Clinton, like I trust him with my kids.
I mean,
That's
This
funny.
is the gold you had to leave on the floor.
That's
yes.
right. Yeah. You get it.
listen, Yo Gabba Gabba's not going to make it.
The Macarena got big. We did a Macarena episode.
That one wasn't the best.
We learned the Macarena. It was gold. It was gold.
Yeah,
Brad.
I think we played an audio clip of Regis learning.
Man, this is good. It was just so much work. We had to like timeline it and like make sure it lined up the actual day. Like we weren't messing around.
No.
And you know what our motto is: if
What's funny
we
is
have to work, we're not
the least. Whenever we work, the least that seems to be the thing that people love the most. So whatever.
Wasn't going to be that.
Funny
I
how that
guess.
works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, A Very Merry Toy Store originally aired on Lifetime. on this November 26th. Ooh, it was like a Thanksgiving
Ooh, big boy.
week, like probably competing with CCB or something.
Yeah.
See if those dates line up in 2017. And it went a little something like this. Connie and Will are rival toy store owners. Forrester Toys and DeNova's Toys. They are side by side in this strip, and they have the same toys, the same deals in the same small town in the year 2017. Both toy store owners, they're very good at their jobs, and they care a lot about their customers, and they seem to be on the up and up. Connie lives with her brother Randy, her son TJ, and her mom, Aunt Zelda from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Will is a divorced man who is looking to buy back his childhood home before Christmas because, quote, he just has to have it. Imagine a world where a third toy store moves into the same town that already has 2 toy stores in 2017. That's exactly what happens with Roy's Toy Stores. At the town diner, Connie and Will come together and they agree that this is bad news bears to come up with it. There's a third toy store coming in here? Get out of here. Will, they want to pool their resources together to buy time to make sure that the town can shut down the Roy's Toy Store. But the Roy's Toy Store can't get shut down by the business people until the 24th. Is that correct?
It's airtight.
It's airtight. So the store is going to open for 2 weeks, and then they're going to vote on whether or not it can remain open. So basically, they're just trying to survive 2 weeks of Roy's Toy Store. And that's harder than you might think. And so their first move, pancake breakfast. And so they're going to do a pancake breakfast to compete with Roy's big grand opening. And apparently this town just freaking loves pancakes because no one shows up for Roy's Toy Store big opening. He shows up at the pancake breakfast, and just looking at him, I can see why. And he makes a big old like, hey, everything's good, man. We don't have to worry about anything. He's all chummy. But then we see him making a deal. There's this big toy that's coming out, Princess Alicia. Princess Alicia is being pre-ordered and delivered to the stores later next week.
You got to be there on Tuesday to
That's
pick
exactly
up your pre-order.
right. But you had to have pre-ordered, the stores had to have pre-ordered the dolls in October in order to get them because there's a limited supply. Roy wasn't one of those people that did that. So he does this whole thing to have the delivery driver bring the dolls to him instead. Connie and Will said, no way. So they called the delivery driver personally, pretend to be somebody else, and have the dolls rerouted back to them. Working together brings them together. They have a really good time doing it. They're laughing. They're having a lot of good time. Turns out that it was all for nothing because Roy booked a pop superstar to sing at the store, and no one cares about dolls after that. Connie and Will keep hanging out as Will is helping her son build a bobsled, and they're having a lot of fun doing that. Speaking of bobsleds, apparently this town with 3 toy stores also has a bobsled race that people care about. Roy sponsored a bobsled because that's a Roy thing to do. Connie talks trash to him about that. They push these children down a hill, and it's truly an incredible race to watch. I implore you to go watch this race. Roy's kid crashes, flies out. I think he's dead. He's alive, everybody. Everything's fine. Later, at the Christmastown Festival, Connie and Will dance together and end up opening up to one another about what's going on in their lives. Connie admits that she struggled with opening up since her husband died, and they take a little stroll. The two stop by some Christmas trees, and they kiss. Later, they're on the couch cuddling, and Roy's toy commercial comes up and says that they're doing an 80% off deal, and that's not going to be good for the local fellas. They're not going to let that get in the way, though, because Connie breaks into Roy's headquarters, yells at him, quotes scripture, and that still does nothing. Roy offers her a manager position at the store and to pay off the debt that she owes. She says, no sirree. Will does get that same offer, and he says, yes, sir. Not a problem. Connie's very sad. The town council, it's finally time for them to rule, and they say, we're going to keep Royce. But when Connie's brother realizes that he saw Roy making a deal with one of the council members, taking a bribe, he says, this is a bad guy. Seeing that they made a mistake, Will shows up and he says, Roy, you're a two-faced liar. And then he says this golden line, I'm going to stick with working with humans. You told him, AC Slater. Then he tells Connie that he paid off her debt that she owes with the money that he saved for his house. What a guy. Connie and Will reviewed the security footage that they had thanks to a stalking that was pointing in the wrong direction. Turns out that Roy was bribing, and he is a bad guy. Go figure. The council guy, they found out, and they say, you're out of here, Mr. Roy, get out. High fives and hugs all around. The movie ends with the combination of their stores. They get married at the store. They kiss. And that, my friends, was a very merry Toy Story. There's a snake in my boot.
Combining.
Combining.
Oh, wait, it's just combination.
Combination.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this movie down here on Deck the Hallmark.
Bran? It's right around the corner. Christmas in July.
It's here.
It's here.
It's here.
Hallmark started it early.
It's happening right now.
Even though it's not July 1st.
It starts right now.
It's already started.
That's exactly
it's Christmas and it starts right now.
That's exactly
How am
right.
I going to watch all the movies?
Well, I will give you one
Not
guess.
just the Hallmark movies. I want the Lifetimes. I want the Ups. I want all of them.
Well, then you just made it so easy
Thank
because I want to
goodness.
introduce you to Philo.
Oh,
Philo
wow.
has all the channels that are playing the holiday movies during July with unlimited DVR. It truly is a wonder to behold. And you want to know what else is a wonder? The fact that they're giving our listeners 25% off by signing up right now. If you go to philo.tv/DTH, that's philo.tv/DTH, you're going to get 25% off your order for 2 months.
2 months.
2
Wow.
months. Save those movies, watch them all July long, and follow along here on Deck the Hallmark, philo.tv/DTH. Oh, a very merry Toy Store, Lifetime 2017. Mario Lopez, Melissa Joan Hart. This was, I believe, 10 years since Holidays in Handcuffs, which was their first holiday movie together.
I do have a little tidbit for you.
Okay.
CCB's Switch for Christmas. You may remember it as episode 2 of Deck the Hallmark. Did in fact air on November 26, 2017, opposite A Very Merry Toy Store on Lifetime. Lifetime was saying, okay.
What can you tell me about those ratings?
Oh, well, Switch for Christmas was bonkers. I think it's her biggest movie ever.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it was at the time a record breaker for the Hallmark Channel entire.
So I'm sure that
Was this a record breaker for Lifetime?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
We'll keep doing the research, everybody.
I'll do it. We'll crack down on that.
Listen, you can't rush good
great
research.
That's right.
Very Merry Toy Store. Alonzo, I'm going to start with you with the hot take. Had you seen this movie before, and what did you think about it?
I had seen this movie before, but didn't really remember it, all that much of it. I think MJH is the CCB of Lifetime. She's their like sort of Christmas big gun. And, she's now like directing. I think she directed last year's Feliz Navidad, also starring Mr. Lopez. It's, here's the thing. Melissa Joan Hart and Mario Lopez have been cracking wise on television since they were in short pants. So they totally know
They were in short pants. What does that mean?
It's an expression, like since they were little kids.
Since they were in shorts? I mean, you can wear shorts as a grown-up, can't you?
Okay, maybe it's an expression that has outlived its use. But anyway,
What's
since
new,
they were
pussycat?
Thank you. Since they were tweens, let's say. Since they were tweens, they have been doing this sort of like jokey joke stuff. And so they have the mechanics of it down. So there are, I think, a few more actual laughs in this than one might generally find. I will, however, suggest that if you do not have the budget to shoot a bobsled race, then maybe you don't make make the bobsled race a central thing in your screenplay. Just throwing that out there. A little bit of advice for you, first-time writers out there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one. I think I'll say this. This movie gets the stakes right, which they don't often in these, in terms of like the competition against the big guy. Although it's solved in a totally phony way that this guy would out-lawyer them, and it wouldn't matter that they caught him taking bribes and all that other stuff. But it's better than our last Lifetime movie, All About Christmas Eve, but it's kind of whatever.
Man, Switch for Christmas got over 5 million viewers.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Man, that was prime.
It's double CCB. What are you going to do?
Double CC, 2 for 1.
Two.
That's right.
That's exactly right. This movie, it was just wild. It was a wild thing to behold. There's a lot of weird. To Alonzo's point, the bobsled races, you have to see it. Like you have
You really
to see
do.
it.
You really
but
do.
then like 10 minutes before that, it's as simple as just trying to show an empty lot of a toy store that they tried to do some sort of animation of that is just wild. It is very bad. This is also, for my money, one of the worst written made-for-TV Christmas movies I've seen. Like there are a lot of lines in this movie that are just like woof, and I don't know. There's just
You
a
did
lot.
watch it with me, which didn't help things.
No, but I would have noticed. There's just a lot in this movie that's just like woof. But I do like Melissa Joan Hart and Mario together. I thought they were clearly having fun. It's just like a mass. Like you just have to there's 3 toy stores in this town. Like you have to be able to dive into that. But it was a fun movie. There's just a lot of wow in this movie, and not in a good way.
Yeah, most of these movies fail, on a pretty tepid scale. So it's like degree of difficulty 2 of 10, and you failed 10 of 10 out of 2 of 10, right? But this movie fails epically. Like it really goes above and beyond the standard faceplant failure that we're used to seeing on Hallmark and Lifetime. There are some really big swings in this movie and some gigantic misses. They overestimate dearly how much a billionaire cares about 2 small toy store owners and what he's going to do about that problem. That is a wait what in and of itself. The billionaire being involved in the day-to-day operation of his toy store, also a big swing and a miss. And then both of them have mentioned in their hot take this bobsled scene that only does George Lucas proud. Like, I don't know why this is in this movie, but I was mesmerized at the absolute unmitigated disaster that was on the screen in front of me.
Have you watched the Pee Wee Herman Christmas special?
No, I've not.
Oh, it's a classic. You absolutely should. But there is a moment where Pee Wee and Magic Johnson are in a sled that is then sort of animated through this thing, and that is like chillingly realistic compared to what they do in this bobsled race.
The 2 kids involved here, I just want them on. I want to know what did they film it just in a garage with green screen drop cloths and like somebody's new Galaxy S8? Like, what happened here? Like, how did we get what we got there? And then somehow there are truckloads of talent in this movie. Brian Dennehy is in this movie. Beth Broderick is in this movie. Mario Lopez, Melissa Joan Hart, and all of them are trying to say some of the most stomach-churningly bad dialogue I've ever heard in these movies. And I still don't know what Melissa Joan Hart's brother is doing in this movie. I don't know what he's trying to get. I don't know what the goal of the character is. It is really bad, but memorably bad, right? Just and I would say, and here's the thing is, I would say this is worse than the Haley Duff from last week, but I would say it's so memorable in its awfulness that I'd give it the edge. If I had to watch one of the 2 again, I'd be like, bro, you have to see this bobsled scene. You have to see it. There's nothing I can do that will prepare you for what's coming.
And by last week's Haley Duff, you mean, of course, weeks ago.
When I say last week,
what is time?
we live in a vacuum,
right,
where for us, we film all of these movies, a week ago.
Yes, everything's a week ago, man. Everything's a week ago. Speaking of a week ago,
a royal baby, Christmas Prince.
That's right.
Last week.
Speaking of a week ago, I have the ratings for Sunday, November 26, 2017. So Switch for Christmas got
was one.
Yeah, basically they got 5.2 million. The demo's wild, 50 plus, 3.3. Like it's crazy. The 50 people. Plus. They lost out only to The Walking Dead.
What are you going to do?
Somehow, still in 2017 was getting over 8 million. It's just astounding. And way on down here with Lifetime, where did it go? Here it is. Just over 1 million viewers,
which probably was huge for them. Over 1 million.
Yeah, it was probably
in 2017 was that's a big number for them.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Almost 1.1. Yeah.
Wow, there you have it.
But the 50 plusers are not showing up for Lifetime. No. It doesn't matter who you throw on there. Doesn't matter that much. Wild. It's wild. It's wild. And I do think that is still the number one Christmas movie of all time for Hallmark.
I think so.
Might be.
I think Switch for Christmas is it.
Well, Tracy will look that up too. We'll give you
Trace, get to that. I mean, because the next year you had Shoe Addicts Christmas, which we did, and it did not reach. It was the biggest of the year, but it did not reach the Switch. And the next year was Christmas Town, and then the following year was the one we just did, which the Wizard of Oz.
The only one,
if I only had Christmas.
Yeah, the only one that's higher than Switch for Christmas is Christmas Under Wraps from 2014, which had 5.75.
That's the one. Sorry, I got him confused. That is the one that was the record breaker for Hallmark, and arguably turned the Hallmark Christmas movie into
what it is today. That makes sense. Yeah,
mm-hmm. But it is crazy to see that it dipped back down into the fours, and then something about Double Candace caused the people to come out in herds.
So Christmas Train didn't get those kind of numbers.
Wow. Christmas Train is not even on the top 10 list of all time. Didn't it air
on Channel and Movies and Mysteries simultaneously or something?
Yeah, it was the Hallmark Hall of Fame too.
Yeah. What year was that? 2017.
That's 17. Yeah, Ron Oliver.
Yeah. I can do this.
Yeah,
all day,
well,
guys,
yeah.
But
you want to, or do you want to?
Let us carry on.
Let's keep moving.
Let's let
with
us
this train
carry
wreck
on.
that we're working on.
Let's get to all the feels. Talk about the feels that we had in this movie. Alonzo.
Well, my feels were going to be Brian Dennehy because he's just good enough that he can loan a level of humanity to even sort of nonsense material like this. But then the script sort of betrays him in his final scene by making it clear that he's basically been paying Beth Broderick for her company all of this time because he wasn't really interested in taking piano lessons.
Yep.
And he really just wanted to hang out with her and flirt with her some more. So he hires her to be his piano teacher. And that's kind of gross. So that sort of undid my one feel.
Yeah. No, I said when the movie started, at least we're going to get Brian Dennehy offering the old guy sage wisdom from the diner. That's what I thought we were getting with Dennehy. Some great, someone's in a crisis, go get the girl or whatever. No, we get this guy being a creep by and large. And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
No one can. No one can. I mean, the feels that I had, I'm trying to remember a time that I was so just enthralled by what was happening on the screen. Then that bobsled race. It truly was just something you will never forget. It gave me those feels. I feel like I'm watching something that's going to last a lifetime.
You had car accident onlooker feels.
It was just amazing.
Last a lifetime. I see what you did.
It was truly amazing, and it did give me feels.
Yeah. I don't have any feels aside from my disappointment in Brian Dennehy as well, but I do want to let you know, Brand, that the Christmas Train was 5.6 mil on Hallmark Channel, but they aired it on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries simultaneously. So 8.5 million unduplicated viewers.
Interesting. It doesn't say that on the Wikipedia.
It's the number one.
Wikipedia says that it only got 5.87.
If you include,
4.87.
Yeah, if you include both, it averaged 5.6 million, and then on Movies and Mysteries, giving it an unduplicated audience of 8.5 million viewers.
Why do we have different numbers?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What's right?
I don't know what's right.
You gotta hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. All we're trying to say is Lifetime. You got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
Long ways to go.
Yeah. If you're throwing this out there, Switch for Christmas was bad, but if you're throwing what we just watched out against
look at your game.
It's kind of on you. It's kind of on you.
Yeah. Switch for Christmas is better than this.
Yes, by a long shot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Snowed In Christmas, Andrew Walker, Bethany Joy Lynn's better than anything else I've seen, and you put that on Lifetime, so they have come a good ways at least. So there you
Was
go.
that the same year?
No.
That was 2018.
18.
Okay.
18. Yeah.
Man, only a year.
A year later.
removed. A year removed from this bobsled race, and you get Snowed In Christmas.
And wait till we get to Christmas setup. I think you'll be impressed.
All right.
And that's happening, I think, next week.
I think so.
Great.
You tell me.
I think so. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll get to the wait what's and the what the lifetimes here on Take Over. We are back, and we're at the Wait What part of the show where we talk about what in this movie made us go wait what. And I will start with you, Alonzo. Alonzo, what kind of confused you? What made you stop and say it?
Oh, God, there might be one or two. Let's see. Well, I mean, as we've been saying, like, how does this tiny town in Connecticut support 2 toy stores on the same block? That's just bananas. Like, I get why the new toy store wants to come in, because they're clearly like, well, all right, this town can clearly support 2 toy stores. Then obviously we can come in and crush both of them for the giant toy audience that exists in this town. But so then when the big bad chain comes in and they're like, well, we're going to team up. Apart from a pancake breakfast, what are they going to accomplish together that they couldn't do separately? Like, none of that makes any sense.
I said it out loud when it happened. Why does that matter? You both have debt, you have the same toys, and you have the same limited capacity. It doesn't do anything. You've combined weaknesses. You've not done anything.
It's double the liability. Roy of Roy's Toys has this like lady sidekick who they dress like a witch from a Sid and Marty Krofft show. Like, she's always got these weird hats on and just kind of skulking around. It's very strange.
Yes.
Let's unpack the Princess Alicia doll for the moment. First of all, both the Melissa Joan Hart and the Mario Lopez toy stores have been taking pre-orders. Pre-orders in a brick and mortar retail establishment. Pre-order means that you have paid for it already.
That's right.
And that you're going to then show up and pick it up on the day it delivers.
Correct.
So even if
That's right.
Roy's Toys brings in the pop singer to get everybody to go there on the day that the dolls launch, they have already paid for the dolls that are
Doesn't
at
matter.
the 2 other toy stores. So good
And
for
it
them.
also-
they've got the money and the merchandise now.
It also delays it by a day. Like, what does Roy do? Like, in that day, aside
Nothing.
from just push back the people
Well,
picking up their dolls,
he
doesn't get the dolls back.
Yeah.
No. He
And no
doesn't.
one cares. But this is just the bigger point of, you're right. Like, they've already paid. It doesn't help them money-wise. They think this is going to help them. It doesn't help them money-wise. They've already got that money. It's already in the bank. And then they say later, early in the movie, she answers the phone and she's like, you can pre-order. It'll be here Tuesday. And she tries to get her to pre-order. But then later she says you had to have pre-ordered in October.
The stores had to pre-order. So the stores had
I
to
got
put
you.
in an order.
I got you.
With the doll.
So they do have more dolls than the people.
They
that are
had
coming
to
in.
make an estimate.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
But I just don't understand, like, what this guy does, Roy does at the end of this movie. If he wanted them gone, he should have just done it at the beginning of the movie, which is, hey, come by, just get all your stuff cheaper here. That's what that's what they do. That's what Amazon and Walmart do.
Walmart and all those guys,
They
yeah.
don't go, man, I can't believe they're in business. They will say, hey, we love small business. You can just buy our stuff for half price. That's what they do. Like Roy, a 2 billionaire getting in the muck and mire with Lopez and Hart is the most unrealistic part of this movie, including the bobsled race.
Yeah, that he's going to be the guy handing off the bribe to the city councilman
no
and not
way.
like Lady in the Witch costume.
No way.
But wait, there's more on Princess Alicia. In all the posters that we see in the Melissa Joan Hart store, Princess Alicia is a black character.
Yep.
Black animated,
Correct.
Disney type princess. Has a big song that the character sings, a la Frozen. When the pop singer who sings the song shows up at Roy's Toys, she is white.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
I didn't know she was supposed to be the princess.
I thought she was just a distraction.
I thought it was just a distraction.
Does she sing the theme song?
They hired the woman who sings the princess's song from the movie, which Melissa Joan Hart sings along to in the car at one point.
Oh,
so yeah, the voice
no.
of Princess Alicia, the black character, is this white, skinny, pop singer lady.
You can't have that one back.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Under the rule of don't have a bobsled race if you can't afford to show a bobsled race is don't show a band performing at the Christmas carnival if you're going to lay a whole other music track on top of it.
What about accordion over here?
Yeah, I talk a little bit more about the band here in just a second.
So
it's a wild band.
That was loony. When Melissa Joan Hart thinks like she has lost it all and she's sitting at the diner having a glass of wine. That wine
is water.
So white, it is water.
It's water.
It is completely translucent, unless she's having vodka.
Yeah,
that is water in that
glass. In a wine glass.
And it makes just no sense. And then when she gives the big impassioned speech about like the soul of the town and stuff, and it's like. It just kind of calls up this whole notion of like, oh yeah, this entire town is like as white as possible, except for like one dad and kid that we saw shopping for toys early on. This is like, I mean, yes, I get it. It's Connecticut, but still, come on, like, where are your people of color? And yes, obviously in this movie, that's the water we're always swimming in, and it should go without saying, but I had to point it out.
It's a great job. It's a great job. I'll point out these that don't matter nearly as much, such as her brother, who's playing the weirdest Santa I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh,
and
creepy.
his catchphrase when the kid is leaving is handing him a bell and saying, "Ring this bell on Christmas Eve, and I'll come visit you."
He actually says, "Ring this bell on Christmas Eve, and I'll come visit you."
Well, then
Dear
I shall not.
I would advise against.
Yes.
I will melt this down.
The guy that you guys both said that you thought you were going to like, but then he just
Ryan Dennehy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, him.
How dare
just
you?
ended up, you doing piano lessons just to hang out. He also has I'm taking it as a real pervy line because Mario and Melissa Joan Hart are at the diner, and she says something, and then she leaves, and Mario says she really likes those dramatic exits, and he says, "I know I do." And then watches her leave.
It's really weird.
It's very weird. And then he does this thing with his glasses.
I hate it when you leave, but I love to see you go.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
The band that you mentioned, Alonzo, I just want to point out, this is what that band consists of. A keyboard player, an accordion player, a recorder player, an acoustic guitar player, and two trumpets.
Yep.
That's the band.
Yep.
That's
Ding,
the
ding,
band
ding.
that they got together. And you wonder why they put another song underneath it, because no one wants to
The
hear
only
that.
thing I can figure is they were like, this will distract him from the bobsled race. That's all I got.
And I don't do this often, but I decided that I would take this one to the tape. And it is.
Oh, this is bonkers.
It is Aunt Zelda from Sabrina the Teenage Witch singing Itsy Bitsy Spider,
which we all know how that goes.
And the itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again.
No.
Not even close. Not even close.
Is it not public domain? Did they have to come up with a new tune?
It is just a completely.
and then she goes back into it.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the garden spout.
Come on!
That's a little pitchy, dog.
Come on!
It's really hard to try and carry a tune when somebody's playing piano badly behind you, but that's just beyond.
She's not
Spider. Spider.
That's Itsy Bitsy Spider the musical.
If that sound
exclamation point.
If that sounds not a wait what, I don't know what is, boys.
Good gracious.
Dana?
You know what? I really admire Lifetime for having a movie about two little shop around the corner toy stores while also making it clear that the film is sponsored by the Hasbro Pie Face game.
Oh, thank you. Hasbro in general, but especially Pie Face.
There are giant Hasbro logos in both of these stores. They're massive. Like, you would think the store is named Hasbro, which is a billion-dollar company, and there are Pie Face games everywhere. And at one point, Melissa Joan Hart says, no, all you have to do is buy whipped cream and you're good to go. Like, I'm
That's
sorry.
so true, though. I've played that game.
Like, you're not, you as a movie sold out to the thing that you're trying to have these people rail against. It's a riot. And
Big toy.
That's right, big toy. You surrendered to big toy.
Another one bites the dust.
I'm a little bit less concerned with Roy and his billion-dollar empire. If he's worth $2 billion, then his empire's worth probably way more than that. But I'm a little less concerned with him and more concerned with the fact that the cast of The Sopranos took over the bank, because the guy that she has to deal with at the bank, that's the middleman, is Bobby Bacala. Like, he's just tie unloose and like, I'll see what I can do for you. No promises, It's a balloon payment. It's the VIC. The VIC's due. Like, and then he goes and he's like, won't be a problem. Then he calls her back and he's like, it's going to be a problem. I don't know why.
I talked to Vic. It's going to be a problem.
What part of Little Italy in Connecticut are they? Like, where's this operating?
It's a town where Mario Cantone is somehow the mayor.
We're getting there.
Bets are off.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We've not mentioned Mario Cantone to this moment, but Mario Cantone is the mayor of this town, which basically means that he just supervises all the meaningless activities in the town, including waving a red flag to start a bobsled race. He's waving a red. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you usually wave a green. Green means go here in America, by and large. He's waving a red flag to start the race.
Okay, that entire bobsled race is green screen. So they're like, okay, that flag's going to disappear.
Right.
Use this red one. It's Christmassy.
That you beat me to it. He had to, because if he used a green one, it would have just been an invisible flag.
He'd be waving a stick.
It is absurd. This Mario Cantone is, make no mistake, very much just Mario Cantone in this movie.
Yeah.
But he waves a red flag to start a race.
Who also sounds like he might be related to Tracy.
A little bit.
But just
a little bit.
Go.
He does.
When you think small town mayor, that's just your go-to.
And I'm not questioning a billionaire because he's a billionaire, but opening a store.
I gave you my liver.
Kidney. If you give somebody your liver, Trace, you're dead. You can give part of your liver, but not all of your liver.
Not what I've read.
Okay.
I hope not, at
Christmas
least.
delivered.
Ah.
Got him.
Amy Teagarden.
No.
No?
Amy Teagarden. It is Amy Teagarden.
Yeah, joke's on you.
I thought you said Aurora Teagarden.
I
wrong.
would never.
You would never. I would wish somebody. Never mind. Next on the list, the angle that they're looking at for this gas station, and the angle with which the gnome in the stocking sits are two very different angles. They're like, the gnome caught it all on video, and the gnome is like 8.5 feet tall. And then the camera is clearly perfectly landscaped at like maybe a 3.5, 4 foot level.
Through the front window.
Through the front window. You don't get anything else in the shot. You don't get anything at the store. It's just the window outside. And it really, really, really bad. How do they get the phone number of the delivery driver? This was killing me. They call and pretend to be from somebody else, and they give him. They call and they get him to deliver the toys to them. How do they get his cell phone number? That's hard information to find in the middle of the night on a Sunday. And I'm not here to question a billionaire, but opening a toy store after December 10th is just bold, man. Like, that is just throwing bad money after bad money right there.
Oh, that's right up there with a bank closing a small town toy store on December 24th.
Yeah, and the board meeting to vote on whether he can keep his toy store open on December 24th. But he decided to open it after the 10th. I question maybe that in general, why you would go about doing that. That is all I have, Brand.
It's time for the What the Lifetime. It's part where we wonder what could have been, maybe having to give some clarity to the questions that we still have. Alonso?
They go from being like lifelong feuding enemies to literally married in a very, very whirlwind relationship. And, when the notes on the top of the page, I typed out the acronym for this movie, which was VMTS, and you could pronounce that vomits if you want to. But it got me thinking that would the sequel have the same initials and be a Very Merry Trial Separation? Just a thought.
I like that a lot.
I just, I don't want to keep going back to the bobsled race, but I need to just because I wish I could have been in the room where they get the final cut and they watch it and they're like, we're putting this up against Switched for Christmas and we've got this. Like, was there any conversation about being like, the bobsled race does not matter? Why?
I just want to live in that space of silence when they hit stop on the tape at the end of the scene with everybody in there in the room. And they hit stop and everybody's like, well,
this is the final cut?
Well, it's the 25th. It looks like this is as good as it's getting.
This is after post. I don't want to tell Lifetime what to do, but maybe don't hire Melissa Joan Hart's mother to direct the movie and have a complicated bobsled sequence in the middle. I'm just going to throw that out there as a possibility.
Maybe.
Listen, hire her for a lot of good stuff.
Sure.
Just
no
not
question.
for bobsled racing, please, for the love. And my last one is, you guys brought it up, but the city council doesn't meet until December 24th
Classic.
to decide if they're going to shut down Roy's. Even though Roy's has been open at this point for 2 weeks, there is no reason given for why there has to be 2+ weeks between when they bring the complaint to when the complaint is heard in this small town with a city council of 3 people. No reason is given for why December 24th of all the days.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, we will vote on this. Why?
But
Why?
Also, by the time he's gotten the permits and everything and built the place.
Yes. What can they do?
Nothing. They can't do anything. So stupid.
Yeah, the idea is that Melissa Joan Hart's character has dug up some obscure, like, codicil to whatever city charter thing. But yeah, it's everything. The wheels are in motion. He's rich. Like, of course, none of this is going to be happening.
Yeah. My only one is, did Jeep sponsor the film? And the reason I ask is because there's a Toyota in the movie and a Fiat in the movie that have been what appears to be blacked out with a Sharpie. Like, you can kind of still see the T, but it's blacked out. The Fiat is blacked out, but the Jeep is not blacked out. And so I'm very curious as to if Jeep put that in there or what happened there. I'm very curious by that.
Is Jeep owned by Hasbro? Do we know this?
Man.
Now we're getting to it.
Now we
Because
are.
typically Hallmark just allows all of them in there, and they don't have any of them sponsors. So they'll just be a Ford, a Chevy, a Honda. It doesn't matter. But this clearly was all the rest were blacked out aside from Jeep, which was weird.
Yeah. Well, if they were sponsored, money clearly did not go towards bobsled racing.
No,
I'll
it
tell
did
you,
not.
if you guys love the bobsled effects, which we all did, sometimes this is a movie that's really hard to track down now, but I got to show you a film that was released in theaters called After Last Season, which is the most visually bananas. Like, it's so bad that people thought, is this actually outsider art that I'm just not getting it? But no, it's just these insane, like, outdated computer graphics and like the kind of lighting where everybody's throwing really harsh shadows and I can't even begin to describe it. Literally, when the trailer dropped online, people thought it was like an elaborate art prank. So we'll have to, next time you're in Los
What's it
Angeles,
called?
It's called After Last Season.
After last season.
I'll if I'm ever out your way, I'll bring my DVD with you. It will blow your mind.
Wow. That sounds great.
Man.
And I think that might just count as your words of wisdom, unless you have any others.
I'll take it.
I'll take it as well. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Happy Christmas in July. We're it's happening. We're doing it. We're very excited about it. Until tomorrow, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.